So for all of the groups, we are 5 minutes into the discussion, and at the moment there are protests outside of the city hall of citizens that are asking for more jobs in the city. So you currently have protests outside the hall of citizens asking for more jobs. You have 5 minutes to make a decision.
That's my point. So I suppose there is local get the
We have 1 minute to make a decision for this space.
Good.
now we're going to go 10 years later. The mayor has changed the because they were increasing protests because of that.
Anda mafua
lazima chelewe. Ile kama imejaa tumefanyaje? Na kama mtu ndio kufuta baadhi ya vitu. Kamera sana ana message sana hapa.
Ini pada yang terfita kalau begitu. Mudah mudah. Apa ciri? Apa ciri? Ingia kwenye nani? Kwa sababu baadaye futa baadhi ya vitu kani mjani. Usifute kama hizi za leo. Ah.
Unapenda unajua kwamba tunachelewesha live. Mimi ndo nilikuwa lakini sasa matokeo yenyewe ndo haya. Matokeo yenyewe ndo haya sasa.
Unajua nilea kitu. Unajua?
Jua. Sasa yeye ndo anakaimu.
Waangalie.
Anasaidia.
Hizi ndo sukamisha sio kwa Dar es Salaam. Sasa kama nchi zima
anakaimu. Sababu
there are protesters outside the state in 5 minutes to make a decision.
tunataka wote. Wote. Hata vifeti kabisa. Kwa nini mmoja kwa wewe wa Bigore. Bwana tupiga story. Akaambia jana wangu najua Bodi na mambo ya uza bala najua mwana leo kwa mashine mwana leo
safari ndio moja lakini kubwa ndio kutoka moja ile haja kama kasa hivi watu wanajigiramia tukifakua kesho sababu siku kesho na ile inatoka
Fazendo nesse siku fazendo.
Zile kodi kazi zinakuwa kodi japo. Kwa hiyo zile ambazo zinarekodi kwenye kadi zinaweza kuzifuta. Mimi hapa sijarekodi. Huko hujarekodi. Kwenye habari rekodi na rekodi. Rekodi huko ili kadi ikijaa kule ninafuta kwenye kadi. Sababu ilikuwa logo na TEMEKE zinakuwa huko. At least so hivi. Sababu ni shule video kwa stream. Sasa kuna simu naenda kwa status sasa hivi. Kama gani mwana msina kwa miche nipate kijibando niwashe niingia kwenye group.
Councilors, you have 1 minute to make a decision. 1 minute left.
Kila mwaka lazima safiri, kila mwaka kuna njia nchi.
Mudi.
Twitter account. Twitter. Ngoja mzee Messi. Messi bro. Where is Messi? This one Sabri.
Hey, hello.
No Messi. Hivi basi kama mnakuwa Twitter au na Twitter. Ipo. Unatumiaje? Jina gani? Yaani username. Temeke MUNICIPAL. Poa. Temeke MUNICIPAL. Yes, one. Okay. Give me one second. So +44 +7
8868.
It's not this one.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, we've been in touch by.
Hivi pia si mnaona vyo vyenu vile.
Hivi vipi?
Bora
Shacheza.
bwana kwamba kilo vya kozi cho kinapanda.
Inatakiwa
Unaona kwaje?
unajua mimi nataka nini?
Au cho tunapewa chini.
Au yuka iko poa. Japo nesi tutakuwa umefuta.
Ni picha shauri.
Nimeruhusu yeye lakini na vitu vya vipi na nataka niangalie. Logo ile shangazi zidi bei.
Hakuna
Hizi hapa.
Au vile mnapewa tu vyo kwa uzoefu.
Natafuta.
Sio kama jeshi ukingene kwa chuo kidogo kwa chuo unazo au chuo la saba la chuo kimoja nazo.
Unaanza kuniona kitu.
Sasa kwa chini sile kwa favor. Kwa jeshini
unaweza kusoma.
kabla kitu.
Kusoma. Kwa nini mpaka nipote? Automatically tu freeze.
Kiba kasifuta au kasifuta. Na utakuwa kabisa location.
Sio na bote leo mnalia kitu hamna.
Funga funga. Baada saa 7 na form 4 na atenda Ataendea chuo sio kwa kitu mwingine sawa.
Kwa kwetu huko.
Hapo level moja.
Huko level moja gani tunatafuta? Sema watu kuna utofauti.
Unatoa nini?
Dear counselors, we have 3 minutes to finish. The time machine is already moving its motors and we're gonna go into 2100 very soon. So please conclude in 3 minutes.
Ndiye. Subiri Messi akija akazanigia fushi. Subiri Messi akija akanigia fushi. Messi. Subiri maana kana magari moja na sasa hivi. Safi shikamoo.
Basi mimi jamaa wangu mtitu kwa jamaa yetu. Mtoto kwa naigi amboni. Sisi asaje kwa shule. Kuna mmoja shule. Anaga sauti shule. Anaga sauti senyewe. Anaga sauti kwa shule. Kando bajaji shule. Hivi kule wanalipwa.
Scout ulipwi ila
posho au unapoenda
ukiandaa programu zako mwenyewe, programu zako ndizo zitakazo kulipa. Sheria wanaolipwa ni wachache sana. Sasa kama unapozungumzia hapa halmashauri sio wote nao.
Kuna bwana pro ukienda vile tunasaidia kabisa na sauti na kwa kule posho. Mbona posho unakula kwa sababu
sasa ile si kuna programu yako wewe binafsi ukiachana programu za taasisi husika.
Kama taasisi kwa jambo hili
sasa ile jambo hili ile pale ndio taasisi. Sasa hiyo nyingine hiyo napata mtu programu zako mwenyewe binafsi.
Jambo hili inakuwa kila mwaka.
Kila baada ya miaka 4 sio sasa mimi mitano.
Jambo hili
inaama kila mwaka.
Kila mwaka inaama.
Na watu wanaigombania ile kuiandaa. Sababu ile ukija kuandaa nchi inapata faida. Inapata faida kubwa sana sio kidogo.
Bora kana mfano kwamba kila mwaka bora sasa ndio.
Thank you very much. You can go back to the last layers of it to share a little bit of their experience and the perspectives. You don't need to describe all the decisions. How was the dynamic of the decision making process prioritized, and how does that relate to the decision making that you see in the city? So, what other stakeholders are involved in this case, and what made our rules could be more useful to make better decisions? So, I'll start with this side of the room. So, please, Mayor Judith. Mayor Judith, could you share a little bit of experience of this group with everyone? So just to keep you an idea as facilitators, I think this group probably was prioritizing a lot resilience throughout the exercise. So at the end, they ended up only with 3,000 people affected. They had to make some decisions at the end to make money to invest in health.
I'm just giving a summary of what we did in our group. So we had different issues in terms of urban planning, in terms of city resilience, and in terms of how leaders make decisions. So looking at the discussions, people had opinions depending on their own interests and depending on the government of the day. So different mayors had different influence on our leaders and based on the needs of the day. So one of the key issues that we were discussing was around sustainability. How do we sustain our cities? How do we sustain our projects and the programs that we put in place for our people? And we were also looking at the decision we made of how will it affect the environment? How will it accelerate the different challenges that we face as cities? For instance, the issue of flooding. And we were able to be informed with these issues. And then there was also an issue of financing our programs or projects. So we looked at not only finances at the municipal level, but we can have finances from different partners and also from the central government. So it can be a grant, it can be a loan, but at least to get finances for our people and ensure that we have sustainable cities.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I will go to the different groups first, and then if we have time, we can hear from other comments. So it was also interesting in this group, I think because of the first round, they had enough time to invite some of the other participants who had not enrolled to give some comments also. So they invited citizens to make that first decision. Let's go now to the group over here.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a very interesting experience. Because the practicing administrator, you see what you go through from day to day. The first phase, we had a scenario where we had to decide between the three options of forest conservation, tourism development, or doing nothing. And after some discussion, the team took to tourism development and leaving out the conservation. Of course, as a result, the consequences led to undesired results, and the public responded by even voting out the mayor because things are not going well.
Even as they were asking for jobs.
In the second scenario, we looked at the flooding problem, where one option was to invest in heavy hydraulic engineering, water drainage. But there was another option of using inexpensive removable barriers, which was less cheap and found to create some popularity. And in the same case, in the final analysis, the long run, we still lost it. We still lost it down. When at the end of the day, we found we were at a less desirable stage where we wouldn't really make it to the desired position. The last one was about flooding. And there were three options. One of doing nothing, leaving the status quo, then environmental education, and for sustainability, using the farmers, organic people. The other one was about building infrastructure to retain riverbank walls. Now, again, the team opted for the cheaper option of educating the masses. Result, again, we saw a less than desired in the long run. Now, lessons. The first one I'm seeing is that the cheaper options later come out expensive in the long run, even politically. The people will still turn around and say, that was it, but it did not guide us well. The other one is that the populist decisions are in the long run more expensive if you are not careful. Therefore, a leader should have a prophetic eye and look here into the future and forecast properly based and also these economic returns and long-term dividends that will sustain the environment. Let me not bring the discussion.
No, thank you very much, and I think you summarized very well the technical exercise. And I think that group kind of showcases one of the opposite scenarios of making decisions at the beginning that has a lot of impact 50, 80 years later, even when some of the decisions done 20 years later might try to bring back the impact of those certain decisions. So we will be hearing more about this, of how tomorrow's cities methodology will help us look into the impact of decisions today in the future and how we include different voices. I want to give just a couple of minutes, a very short intervention from the last group before we move to the next session.
Thank you. Councillor Leonard Chibambo of Malawi. The first round we discussed how to conserve the environment. There are issues with forest. We made some decisions to invest in the first 10, 20 years, which resulted, or rather helped us when we got to 2000. I don't know if that's the correct term, 2000. We had protests in the first round. People wanted jobs, and we had to obviously try. At the same time, the return was quite good. I was the last mayor in our third round, and I didn't make too much of a decision because in the last, in 2000, we had to do nothing. It was actually a better decision because of the investments that we have made in the previous.
Thank you very much. I think you touched also an interesting point that I hope we can also discuss during the next 2 days, and is I think what the Tomorrow Cities team will be calling aspirations of people might also sometimes contradict with what might be better in terms of risk management and risk planning. So how can we also include different cities as part of that decision making and helping them also make those decisions and priorities with the future impacts in mind. So thank you very much for participating in this exercise. I know many of you wanted to take pictures of it, so we will be sharing the templates and the guidance for the exercise with you in the next couple of days, so don't worry about it. But for now, let's go to the next session. Tomorrow Cities team will be sharing, explaining us a little bit more of what we will be doing, what they have been doing with other cities, and what we will be discussing in the next 2 days. So, Mark, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Carlos, and thanks, colleagues. I think you'd agree that was a really very stimulating exercise. I'll certainly be stealing it and using it with students and colleagues in London. It really gets to that tension of economic development against resilience and the time frames. Which benefits do we need to bring to the fore or perhaps delay? So that does take us nicely to tomorrow's session. I was asked to speak to you for maybe 15 minutes or so, just to read the context, some of the science context for why we're meeting today. So let me do that. I'm hoping that I can share with you a nice 5-minute video halfway through, which is a very interesting way of summarising the steps in Tomorrow City. So bear with me if some of the technology doesn't quite work, but that's the plan. Yeah. But first of all then, I think this is where most of us would agree the reality of our situation. So we're facing multiple risks. Today, the focus has been on climate change, but of course we've gone through a pandemic and many public health risks. There are also ups and downs. So the real challenge, particularly for the urban poor, every day is to balance different risks. And if one is encouraging an anticipatory approach, an approach of acting today to be safer and better off in the future, how much more difficult is that? Particularly for climate and health risks in the future, which you can't even feel today necessarily. So there's the role for science and for leadership from local government to work with communities to provide some foresight, provide a basis for collaborative work into the future. These then are perhaps the 3 dynamics that Tomorrow Cities and so our conversations over the next 3 days recognise. So going from that very complicated set of dynamics to 3 specific dynamics that we need to understand. The first, of course, is changing cities. How many of your cities are decreasing in population? None. How many are increasing in population? Just put your hand in the air. All. No? and Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, West and East, has the highest rate, you know this better than me, the highest rate of population growth in the world. So the real challenge is in small, medium, and yes, in large cities to cope with that growing population, much of which will be forced to be informal in its accommodation. So how do we deal with that? Different growth patterns. Strategic, planned in other words. Opportunistic, so private sector led, but perhaps not fitting in any kind of structural plan. And then the spontaneous settlement of the informal. Changing risks. Climate change has been mentioned. The Mayor in his opening address gave us some highlights of the experience of climate change here. So we have two dynamics, changing city, changing climate. So how can we plan if what we know of the city today doesn't exist in the future? I first came to Dar es Salaam 20 years ago, and I don't recognize the city today. Where I travelled from A to B 20 years ago is some small component in the heart of the city, and now it's a huge metropolis, a very different city. That's what we have to think about in the future. Our planning is for a city that doesn't yet exist. How can we begin to plan for a city that doesn't exist, dealing with risks that we haven't yet experienced, the risks of climate change? And this is now our problem. No, we feel climate change. Every day we feel the impacts of climate change. We see the city growing. So we know these are the trajectories, but our planning tools are still very much based on planning for the existing city, some incremental change, and our risk management strategies are based on historic risk data, the hazards of the past. We have to use this material, but it's perhaps not sufficient. And of course, changing capacities, the third dynamic, which is what we're exploring. New forms of knowledge. All of you are working, we've seen the evidence in participatory methodologies, drawing the knowledge and experience of those at risk together with your own capabilities. There are, of course, many science programs. So there's new knowledge that needs to be brought together, which is more work for you. How to choose which knowledge can be integrated into the decision making. So it's you're the champions of this process, how to deal with this future risk, deal with the growing city, and deal, I imagine, with more data and more advice than you have time to handle. So you need some strategy, which we hope that these 2 days will help you through. There are some good news outcomes of this process. This is perhaps the main one. It's a little bit out of date, but 60% of the area, get the facts right, expected to be built by 2050 is not yet built. So we have it in our hands to create the future cities that we want. No, it's not that we're stuck with the cities that we have. As I said with my experience of Dar es Salaam, in 20 years, the city completely changed. Imagine in 30 years, the cities that you live and work in, they will be completely different, twice the size, 3 times the size. And all that construction, all that building and infrastructure can be decided upon and can be deployed in ways that try to maximise inclusion and risk reduction. So we have not just a historic responsibility and challenge, but also a historic opportunity. If one follows the UN demographic projections, in 20, 30 years, the African growth rate in Sub-Saharan Africa will slow. So we have 10, 20, maybe 30 years of planning now to intervene in to secure safer cities. Then, in 30 years, we'll meet and we will have built cities. And we will be talking about risk that we would have been partly responsible for, and risk reduction that we will be partly responsible for. So that's our optimistic opportunity. And these are the 3 elements of the Tomorrow Cities approach that, working with the colleagues from UCLG and RD, we're trying to bring into the conversations to give you some opportunities to play with. The Tomorrow Cities project is actually a 6-month-long one, so we're working with TEMEKE over the next 6 months to deploy a full set of interactions, and with colleagues, we've simplified that into 2 days. So this is a case that, of course, if you're interested, we can have conversations about some other deployments in your cities. But we're just getting the essence over the next 2 days. So keep thinking about how to build risk reduction into development and outcomes is key, and that's been mentioned already several times. A recognition of multiple risks. Here in TEMEKE, we'll be looking at or considering flooding and landslide, but in other cities, of course, there's earthquake or coastal flooding, drought, heat. So the question is not just how can one be resilient to a single hazard in building for the future, but multiple hazards. No point in relocating a school from a floodplain and building it with concrete and steel roof that's too hot to use for 1 month, 2 months of the year because of the temperature inside. Everything is connected. And I know you colleagues know this far more than I do. And finally, changing capacities. And this is building again on your experience and the belief that inclusion is important. Our experience of working in this project for the last 4 years with several cities is that as soon as one starts talking about the future, as you've just done, what is the city of the future? This opens space for more marginal groups, those who aren't routinely involved in planning, to have a say. Because it's not about a fight over resources today, it's not about land tenure or infrastructure investment today. This is about future. So people can express their desires for the future at the start of any process, and we listen to that as planners. It's not so contentious, and then we start to plan. So I find the future is a very liberating place to planning. It's a planning where some of those tensions fall away. That's our experience, and I'm fascinated to hear from your experience, and we'll learn together on that point as well. So I've just got a couple of final slides really on the context before Emily will take us through a little bit of the detail of the next few days. But this is the story of tomorrow's city. Certainly it's important to say that we're still learning, and this is part of our scientific learning, is the engagement in the next 2 days. We started our journey 4 years ago with 4 cities, with Istanbul, with Kathmandu, with Quito and Nairobi. And in each of those cities, we've been working with academics, communities and policymakers to test various methodologies. The budget has been close to £2 million in each of those cities on experimental interventions. And it's out of that process that we have designed the approach. We've come to realise the importance of the approach that we're sharing with you in part these 2 days. So just to show you that hopefully the interaction will be enjoyable and led by you, but there's really a weight of collaboration and science behind this. 4 years worth of work and £15 million budget behind what we've already spent. We're now working in a range of other cities, and you've had a chance to read those, and of course TEMEKE is one. So we continue to build, learn, and all of you are invited to join the Tomorrow Cities Foundation, which is a network of policymakers, communities and scientists from all of the cities I've mentioned, as well as from our team, to continue learning and sharing. So if that's of interest, let me know. We have your emails anyway, we'll get in touch. Next one. That's it. Okay. I'm sure we're running out of time, but let's try with the video, which will give you a quick snapshot of what we do.
Cities are expanding at an unprecedented rate. By 2050, it's projected over 2/3 of the world's population will live in urban areas. Many of these cities will be forced to spread into areas that are more prone to hazards like earthquakes, volcanic eruptions and floods. And as they grow, they generate new hazards like fire. Urban growth can generate social vulnerability. Key services like sanitation, drinking water, education and healthcare are inadequate. And when decision making is not inclusive, forcing many to informal and illegal settlements outside formal planning, leaving hundreds of millions of people to suffer the ravages of unnatural disasters. Unless we plan for those future threats today, this critical challenge also presents a moment of opportunity. It's estimated that 2 billion more people will move into cities in the global south before 2050. So today's urban planning decisions will determine the risk and resilience of future developments for decades. Our mission is to make future cities safer and more resilient, reducing disaster risk from poor in tomorrow's cities. We listen, facilitate, create thinking about the future, bringing together interested parties from local community groups to city and government agencies to reveal the different future visions for the city yet to be built. These future vision conversations provide a set of bottom-up policy solutions, locally informed development pathways that the city might take, working with local media groups, museums and universities, exhibitions and art to use to bring the public into discussions about what the future might look like. We then bring together all the technical information that we know about the threat, data on the physical hazards, the characteristics of the built environment, population characteristics, economic trends, political and cultural conditions. That data then feeds into physics-based models that simulate the impacts of hazard events on different development visions. It helps raise questions such as, what would happen if we designed the buildings differently? Or what would happen if infrastructure developments took account of the potential impacts of hazard scenarios? The modelling will explore a wide range of impacts that the hazards could produce. Then we close the loop. We take the results of our evidence-based future urban impact simulations back to the community, as well as city and government stakeholders, to combine citizen expertise and vision with policy actors, to democratically convert the objective measures of impact into the subjective representations of the risk, and ask them, is this level of risk acceptable? What have we missed? What did they mean for the most marginalised? That means refining our weightings to reflect diverse perspectives on the importance of different impact metrics, checking whether the right governance is in place, sense checking the consequences of any preferred options, ensuring the process has been fair and transparent, and planning the next steps for action. By listening to the urban poor and urban planners, tomorrow's cities provide opportunities to overcome different perspectives and form new collaborations to bring the most marginalised into risk reduction, offering a new integrated approach to risk-informed planning and decision-making for tomorrow's cities.
Thanks. So just a final slide. Brilliant. So this is, I won't go through in detail, but each of these lines represents part of the approach that Tomorrow's Cities brings to our partner cities, and then lies behind the journey we're on for the next 2 days. So we start off, as you've done a little bit of this morning, with collaborative setting of aims. City governments, community actors and scientists, local science teams, together deciding what they want to get out of a process of collaboration. That's really essential. We then decide what future we want for the city, and community actors lead that process. And right at the beginning of our journey, it's set, the goals and aspirations are set by local actors, and you'll be engaged in one of those events just now. Then we ask what policies can deliver that future, and what hazards might impact on that future, and how to balance the tension between the desired future and risk reduction. Again, you experience some of that tension already, and then that moves us towards an action plan, but importantly, not an action plan that sits on its own. That action plan was started at that first conversation. And just for the final side, I'd say that the real lesson is in these yellow arrows. It's the connection points. So you already bring so much experience of participatory planning, of risk assessment, of collaborative decision making. But it'd be fascinating to see how often those elements of urban work are joined up. Can you bring participatory planning, really meaningful planning, into decision making? Often these things are separated, and we work hard on methodologies to join them, and that's part of these next 2 days. So I'll finish there. Thank you for listening, and hand over to Emin for some more detail of the next 2 days.
So we have been here since the last 3 hours, and we can basically visit ourselves and we can see that how we can look at the future system that we have conducted successfully. So actually future game is a nice opportunity how decisions can have implications over the consequences. So tomorrow we are adopting this approach, like looking in the future with more of a cities approach, actually, and it will be a more risk-informed and co-produced process. So basically, in the next 2 days, we will be playing another game, different than futurities. We will have different roles, and we will act like community groups, youth, women, and also again decision makers, and also private sector. Different sections of the community groups, we will act as if we are them, and then we will be trying to decide our own future. So we will go into the details tomorrow before we start the exercise, but basically it's the stage role-playing game, and in the first stage we will be looking into our own aspirations. What do we want for the future? What impacts can occur? We will have those information for you, and then you will be discussing it from each other and then having some common aspirations. And then we will show you some early options for future, and then we will want you to revise those to fit your own aspirations. Then in the next day, we will show you how your decisions were resulted into impacts, consequences, like how many people were displaced, how many kids were, able to go to school. Such impacts will be given to you, and then we will want you to discuss what caused those impacts. So this is it for the next 2 days, and we will be providing more details tomorrow before starting the exercise. So the game will be played on a fictitious place. All I say fictitious, it is NYUNDO. So let me show you where it is. It's here. So basically, I think you can see, right? Oh, no, okay. Let me switch. I don't know if you can see the borders clearly, but there are some references. See? This is a case study area, and although this is a fictitious place, game that we will be playing, it is not that unrealistic. We have provided information from TEMEKE municipality, from professors from our university, Professor Guido, and then they have provided us some data, information, and then we use all this information to provide a basis for our game. And then we also provided some information from open sources, like OpenFeedback, Google, or even Facebook, Microsoft, all those open source data sets that we scanned for NYUNDO. And then we have collected a database for us to play on, basically. Then what we will be doing is basically, we will let you play around this area and then have some urban decisions, and then we will show you how your decisions result in impact. So I won't keep it long because the details will be explained better tomorrow. But basically, we will play again in the manual. So here you will see. So now you see there are two circles here that you see, and these will be visited today. And now I would like to hand over to Professor for the presentation for Niazi, which is already there in the computer. Okay. So, yes. So, yeah, for 3 years now. So the bottom line for this process is that you will see it will be a data-driven process because we need evidences to make decisions. And I think acknowledging the data availability, data accessibility, and the open view of data is essential. And then in the next few days you will see this better because we will basically flood you with different kinds of data sets. So I think it will be a very nice experience for all of us. And be sure that you will be tired, you will be constrained because co-creating means doing it together. So it's not an easy process, I warn you. So now, Professor Guido.
So I will open
kila mara kivita za lazima haikwai. Sasa hivi kabisa usikaikwaa imezima kabisa. Hapo kicheke na safari. Hapo kicheke ndo na safari. Sijui kama itawaka.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. We will need the USB again. Upload the presentation.
Kisha katika bodi. Kwa tena. Yaani nimeweka chini tu kwa
So, good afternoon. I'll be taking you through the case study. My name is Guido Dunga from Iowa University. My colleague is Professor Jesse. Next. Yeah, so just a few minutes, I just want to go through the institutional sort of framework in terms of local government in Tanzania. So in Tanzania, we have two types of local governments in terms of the setup. We have the rural ones and the urban ones. So in terms of the rural councils, we have the districts or town authorities and then the ward, following the village and the sub-village. But for the urban ones, we have the urban councils, like the municipal or city or town councils. So TEMEKE falls in the urban councils, and then we have wards and we have the town at the grassroots level. But then if we have to talk about TEMEKE, you can see that the setup is from the municipal council, then you have the municipal director, who is just behind me. And we have, down there we have the departments. So we have the support departments, and then we have the functional departments, where you have the urban planning and land management, which is more important to business, which they deal on, or they work on urban plans, preparing the urban plans and making sure that the cities or towns are planned, so that's the department. And again, in terms of decisions, you can see that you get information from the town and then the wards, and to those departments, which are functional departments, and finally to the municipal. Next. Next is us, you have to speak up, because we open Next. Now, in terms of planning, we are saying that in the councils we have what we call participatory planning. And for instance, when the master plan of that was being developed, it was a participatory in the sense that the locals were involved. So you start from the local level, the entire level, and then the decisions are made to the ward level and then to the city level. Now with that, for instance, the company was developing the master plan, but the discussions were supposed to be discussed throughout the levels, and usually after having developed a master plan, then you have the hearings, then the people from all those levels were involved. And what we usually have, or what we usually have in terms of the development plans, that they start from the local level, whereby people at the local level, where we have what we call the local committees at the town level, ward level, and the municipality. So people at the local level, they finally, they actually start discussing about the development issues. And once they have prioritized those development issues, then they are discussed at the level of the ward, and finally they bring those desires to the municipality for making the development plan. But in terms of disasters, we have the disaster management department, which is situated at the Prime Minister's office. And the disaster management department operates by having a number of what we call tools, or government sort of tools, and some of them are the National Disaster Preparedness and Response Plan, the National Disaster Communication Strategy, the National Disaster Management Strategy, the National One Health Strategy Plan, the National Guideline for Combating Criminal Activities, disease and threats, and the Disaster Risk Act of 2015. So these are the instruments which the Disaster Management Department uses. And in terms of the setup, the Disaster Management Department is set in such a way that there are two sort of pillars whereby you have committees for decision making and the technical committees to assist the steering committees. So you have, for instance, at the national level, whereby you have the Disaster Management Department at the Prime Minister's office, but thereafter you have the National Steering Committee, which is the committee of decision makers. They discuss issues from the National Technical Committee. But again, at the regional level, you have the Regional Technical Committee, which of course they discuss a number of issues related to disaster, and they provide information to the Regional Steering Committee and the Regional Steering Committee to the National Steering Committee. But again, you can see that even at the municipality level, there is a technical committee for that, and they have also a steering committee, but it goes down to the ward and the village or the level, depending on whether you're talking of the towns or the villages. So in terms of location of Tanzania, I know some of you are not new to Dar es Salaam or to Tanzania, but some of you might be new. So for those who are new to Tanzania, Tanzania is within East Africa, so you can see that down there you have East Africa, and then you have Tanzania. Dar es Salaam is at the coastal sort of area, and the size of Tanzania is close to 10 million, and the population there is 3 million, and Dar es Salaam itself is 1,590 square kilometers, with a population close to 6 million. The area which we are interested, which we are going, is TEMEKE. And of course, we are right now in TEMEKE. And the TEMEKE is one of the municipalities of Dar es Salaam. So Dar es Salaam has 4 municipalities and a city. A city is, it used to be Bilal municipality, but now we call it a city. But we have the other 3 municipalities. Apart from TEMEKE, we have Ujangoni, Mungo, and Kinondoni, where you stay. So you stay in Kinondoni, and now we are at TEMEKE. And the area which we are interested is Nyanjini Ward, that small one. So you can see that TEMEKE has 1.3 million people, but the Nyanjini area which we are going very soon has 30,105 population. And in terms of informal settlements, so you can see that the area which we are going is one of the informal settlements, and in actual sense, if you look at the colors, the yellow ones are the formal ones, and those brown, like I say, these are the informal ones, and the picture on the right, it shows the formalities. Let's go next. So most of the urban areas are informal, but some of them are so congested and others are still not very well, not densely populated. But for the area, for instance, close to the city like this one, it is very informal, and you can see the houses, they are so close, and the citizens are very busy. Now, this is one of the area which is at the inner part of the city. It's within the city center part of the city, and it's very prone to floods, and it's flooding very frequently, almost this year, the area floods. Before you can see on the very right picture that they have their own coping mechanisms. So you can find that which is trying to prevent floods or prevent water in accessing a house. But you can imagine that she won't be able to succeed. So these are the kind of situations we have. And for the area which we are going, it is prone to not only floods but also landslides. So you can see those houses, they are being affected by landslides and floods and landslides as well. So we should be able to see them today. And they have some coping mechanisms. They usually put up some stones and bricks so that they can move from one point to the other. So you can imagine closely on the other side is a house. But again, the house is constructed in such a way that it is elevated so that you can prevent it from flooding. Like that. Professor Casey wants to say something.
Yeah. Yes, we sent to you on the we have a file. I'm sure I indicated on the if you can be able to access your mobile. We have already sent the location map from where we are going. If some of you have already been able to access, and what we are going to do, from here, we are going together in the bus, and some of us will go in our own private car, and then we will meet in the Nyandeni office, the district of Nyandeni Uta office, all of us, and we will have a brief there by the chairperson. Will be waiting for us, and we are taking that with the World Executive Officer is also with us. Can you stand up so that they see you? The World Executive Officer, please. The World Executive Officer from Nyandeni. Nyandeni World Executive Officer and the Councillor. And the Councillor, they are both here with us. When we arrive there, we have a brief about the area and everything, population and everything. Normally it is available. We have also asked them to prepare for us. And we will split in 5 groups. We will have a group there, and then we will split in 5 groups, who will be led by members from the community and the councillor. The councillor will have a group of let's say 5, 6, 8 people. The executive officer will also have 5, 8 people, and they will, and also the other groups. All these members who are been there will be in about 8 to 10 people, so that we can work together in the settlement, and then we will converge in the valley. There's a valley there where all of us shall meet. And then we will have some photographs there. And we agree yesterday that as we are going, all the groups, because we will be going from different directions and converging to the valley, you need to make some photographs which you will come and share later on. That's what we agreed. So that we can come and share. At the valley, we have a small group there, and we see the area which we are going to work on from now up to next 4 months. That's in brief what we are going to do. If you don't have that in your mobile, still you can have some maps which are there, and Alex will explain a bit on that. That's what we are going to do, and we are expecting to spend about 1 hour in the settlement and come back. Today is the whole day. I think you know it. There's not much traffic on the road. Yesterday we are thinking it will be taking 1 hour, but actually half an hour will be in the settlement. And 1 hour in the settlement and half an hour come back. And I think 2 hours we should be able to finish the freeway. Thank you.
So, it's been a long day. Just opening very quickly. Do you have any questions in relation to the program? What we're going to get you through? Are you all comfortable with the program, logistics? If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with any of us. We're going to be with you all times. So please ask if you have any questions and any queries about the exercise and the activities in the next 2 days. Okay? Just a piece of logistics as we are all together. After we go back, when we come back from the visit, we're going to have lunch, a very late lunch, but we're going to have lunch here. And then we go back to we're going to be going to the hotels. So the colleagues, we're going to be going to W, those that stayed there, and then some of the colleagues from Asalam as they move to the Universal Executive Hotel. Dinner will be served there. Okay, so you will have a dinner there you can organize for you at the hotel. And as this is the last moment we'll be together, just a reminder that we're going to be at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll be leaving the hotels to go to the university tomorrow. So just as a reminder to everybody that at 8 o'clock we need to be ready, and there will be a van in each hotel to take us to the university. Okay? Now, let's go back to today. Yes, ma'am. How are you doing?
Yes, it's a good question to announce that the municipal director is here and is going to lead the team to Nyanzi. Congratulations to our municipal director. Before we are going together, then we be back together. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So as we go, we told you at the beginning of this session that we're going to have this role-playing exercise. And each of we have already allocated you to different groups. Thaisa is going to give a little bit more insight of that, because when you are today visiting Nyanzi, you need to start going through the process of putting yourself into the shoes of the person that you're going to be in the next 2 days. So you start to think about Nyanzi from the lens of the person that you're going to be. So Thaisa, tell us a little bit more about that.
Hello everyone, my name is Thaisa. You'll get to know me better tomorrow, but I just wanted to announce that basically each of you will have received a yellow paper like that. If you haven't, please do contact our colleague Hala from UCLG Africa, so she has allocated each of you into a group. So this will be very similar to the Future Realities exercise in terms of role-playing. But the difference is that instead of playing an individual person, you're going to be playing collectively. So you have each been assigned to a group. So we have young activists from informal settlements. We have large business owners and land developers. We have policymakers and urban authorities. And we do have a women's cooperative. So we have 4 groups. And as Alex said, we would like you to see Nyanzi today through the eyes of these collective groups. So try to put yourselves into their shoes and try to experience that area as if you were indeed a member of that collective. If you do have any questions, just let me know. But just to let you know, the next exercise over the next 2 days it will be based on those yellow cards. So it's very, very important that you have that paper, that you remember your group. You will be sitting tomorrow at the same table as the other members of that group until the last day of the event. Okay? So make sure you do not lose this. If you do, we have some extra copies, but try not to lose it. And again, if you don't have a card, do find my colleague Hala, who is there, raising her hand. And thank you very much. I'm looking forward to being in the future with you today.
So can we make that are waiting for us just outside?
Please, Watanzania naomba mjichanganye, msikae mmoja watu wote kutoka nchi moja. Please, if you are from Malawi, Mexico, Gambia, Tanzania, Kenya, think only Tanzania and one group. Just try to mix yourself.
Sorry everyone, please, just before leaving, if everyone can take their names with them and bring it to Maryland University. Thank you very much.
Now, vitu vyako unaweza kuacha hapo. You can leave your bags here, then when you back, you say. And you can leave it if you wish. Your laptop when the very important asset, please take it. Only can take it with you. Najua agari ya mea take wazi, kama unataka kupanda gari ya mea pia unayo nafasi. Na gari ya mkurugenzi